Good morning, grand rising to all. This is your brother Big Hawk, that Yonkers native, the host of Street Talk, bringing street news and bringing news, period, when I get it. I made a couple of videos on what's going down as far as rent and food and inflation going through the roof. New York City raised the rent approximately 4 to 5 times so far. Now they're thinking about doing it again. Now ask yourself this question, New York, and all over the United States. Ask yourself this question. If you're making minimum wage, which is supposed to be $15 or $16 an hour in New York, and your rent that you're paying goes from 1150 to 1250 to $1,300 a month, do you think $15 and $16 is going to cover that as far as your rent, as far as gas and electric, as far as if you're going to have internet service, as far as you're going to have to pay for your uh, transportation every day when you work, as far as you have to pay for your clothes, your soaps, deodorant? What about your food? Now, if you have children, you have to take care of your children. If you are a single parent, do you think $15 and $16 is gonna cover it? I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you think they doing this on purpose? Because logically, they know that you cannot survive off of $16, $15 an hour. I made a video yesterday saying that the minimum wage should be $50 an hour. And it should. Because with $50 an hour, now you can, kind of slide by right there, $50 an hour. Because around $50 an hour, you should be making at least, I would say, almost a grand and a half a week. Bring home after they tax you. Maybe 1,500. My math ain't kind of correct, but maybe I'm thinking 1,500. Then that can cover all your bills. Now, if you're single like myself with no children, you will be okay. You will be okay. But if you have kids, even $50 an hour, you still could kind of bob and weave around things because you're getting $50 an hour. But come on, $16 and $15 an hour to live in a place where the rent, the most expensive rent I've seen in New York City, and this is not even exaggerating, you have expensive places, they'll charge you at least $15,000 a month. And that's for luxury. Now, New York City right now is it's really catering to the rich people that live here. The wealthy people, because there is no more middle class. Middle class is knocked out. They took middle class and they knocked it right out. So either rich or poor. That's just the way it is in New York City. I know LA is like that, Las Vegas, Nevada, and certain places, Florida, either you're rich or poor because luxury is starting to take over this world right now. And you got a female like Kamala Harris that wants, it's going to make it very hard for people that's not making a lot of money. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, she's going to make it very hard. Trump said he wants to do the thing, no tax on tips. Like if you're working, sorry about that. If you're working hard, no tax on tips. Like people that do waitress or waiters, they not trying to tax them, and they shouldn't. Now he wants to put together a thing called no tax on overtime. And that is very good because the average person works 8 hours a day. You already get taxed. So if you are working and you get taxed, if you're making like 800 something dollars, $900 a week, and you get taxed and your bring home is like seven and some change, They tax you. But if you do another 8 hours on top of that, that $800 or $900 is yours. So now you got your 7 something, and then you got $800 or $900, whatever it is, that's yours. So you just made, your vacation money or whatever you need extra to pay. You just made that. That's what Trump wants to do. But I noticed anytime Trump said something about what he wants to do, Kamala Harris tries to take his idea. She has no original idea what she wants to do. Anytime he said something, she'll wait either weeks or months later to say she wants to do the same thing. No, you should be able to come out with your original plan, because you're running to be president and he's running to be president. So you should be smart enough to do your original plan. But it's not the case. If you couldn't run that border, how you think you're going to run the country? How you think you're going to do financing for the poor people? Because they're, like I said, rich here, middle class was knocked out by the wind, and now you just got rich or poor. There's no ins, there's no outs, either rich or poor. So, do you think that the minimum wage, really, think about it, is going to help us? And all the finances that we have and all the debts that we have, credit card debts, homeowners debts, and car loan debts. A lot of us are in debt. We ain't going to tell nothing, but we are in debt. And the minimum wage is not going to help you. $20 an hour is not going to help you. It's a blessing to get this from God, but this is not going to help you. We have to start thinking that we're going to have to put somebody in office that can help us out, that is going to help us out. Because in the minute, a lot of people are going to be suffering. You got people living in cars, vans, alleys, everywhere they're living because they can't afford an apartment. Right now, I live in a nice, beautiful furnished room. That's what a lot of people are doing. They're getting furnished rooms. But now the furnished rooms caught on to this. Now they starting to raise their rent just for a room. You got people paying $1,250 for a furnished room. And their excuse is, if you're a couple, it's two of y'all. So now you're paying for both. Come on. Everybody's trying to get over on the poor, but not trying to help the poor. And then when the poor, you don't do this, but when the poor start losing their mind and start thinking about robberies and how they want to rob to take care of their family, because now you have a man that's trying to do and trying to be, trying to be a citizen, an honest citizen to try to work. But he can't get over because his boss his company is not giving him the right type of money to survive. Now he's looking for survival mode. Now he's looking to his friends. Let's try to, knock this bank off. Let's try to knock this store off. It never works. Never works. It never works because you get caught. Some people get caught. You may not get caught right there, but then if they catch one, that one is going to snitch, and then everybody gets caught. So it never works. So a man is looking at his kids, and the wife is like, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And you standing like a man, because a man is, supposed to provide. And if you can't think in all the options, criminal options and criminal thoughts come in your head. And that's with every race. I don't care if you're black, you're white. I've seen every race do this. I've seen people that you never thought would be a crook and a killer do things out of desperation. So no, $15 and $16 an hour is not going to help when you're in survival mode right now. When you're in survival mode and you're trying to do for your family, and you're looking at your kids and their stomach is growling so much you can hear it in the next room, that's when survival mode starts sliding into the equation. That's when it does. So either one of these people are going to get in, what I hope is Trump, and going to try to fix this problem that we have. We have a lot of problems going on in our country, a lot. But the majority of these people are sleeping in the streets. They're homeless. People are dying every day in the streets because they're dying of hungerness. People are sick. You can't go to the hospital because I hate to break it to you, man. Hospitals are becoming more vicious because now if you ain't paying them the money, they ain't trying to hear you. You would think nurses and doctors care. No, not all of them do. Not all of them do. Not all of them do. If you don't have no money to be seen, then we have a problem. We have a problem. It's the way it is, man. Money talks and bull craps walks away. I'm going to say it one more again. Money talks and bull crap walks away. Nobody cares. You can't even have a real girlfriend if you don't have no money. You can't. A lot of these women, I don't care how nice you are, you're making money, but these women have become so entitled and spoiled because of the type of position that they're living in and the place that they're living in and the people that they're surrounded by. Everything has to be money. If you can find a female that's going to stand with you for you, and y'all go to McDonald's and Burger King and these little small places and eat and have a good time without her complaining, then you got a prize winner right there. Remember, a guy took his female to the Cheesecake Factory, and it wasn't enough. She made a stink out of it. She caught an attitude. It went all over social media just because he was trying to do the right thing and trying to, to satisfy him and his woman. And because it's called the Cheesecake Factory, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And the real women stepped up to the place and listen, you take me to Burger King and we can sit down and talk and have a good time. I'm good. You give me a hamburger, french fry, and a soda, I'm good. That's a good female. But a lot of these females became entitled because the times that we're living in, the areas you're at, you see a lot of people that is wealthy, so you want what they want. Then you keep watching the box. It's called the television. I haven't watched TV. I haven't watched regular TV in about 4.5 months, almost 5 months. Because we call it the dumb box. The dumb box and the hypnotized box. These females, they see all of these dumb reality shows, so they want the same thing. They want the same thing. They see these rich guys, and the rich guys are doing for their wives and their girlfriends, so now they want the same thing. So I call it the dumb box, the dumbed down box, the fantasy box. The non-reality box is the television. Tell, lie, vision. Tell a lie, vision. That's just the way it is, man. It's hard, and they talking about going up on the rent again. So how do you think people that's making $16 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $21 an hour is going to survive? Now you're going to have to live off of like how we used to do back in the day. People used to eat mayonnaise sandwiches, cheese sandwiches, lettuce and tomato sandwiches. They had to go to the welfare and get the big blocks of cheese. Remember that? With the Spam. The no-name cornflakes, box of cornflakes, the powdered milk. Survival mode is going to start creeping into people, man. And you got to do everything you can to survive because minimum wage right now is not cutting it. And they know it's not cutting it. And jobs know that it's not cutting it. But a lot of jobs, listen, I got mine, you get yours. Let's be honest, a lot of companies don't care how you survive. They're going to pay you what they want to pay you, and they're going to tell you you either take it or hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more. This is Big Hawk. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a decent comment on what you think that I'm saying. Do you think 15 and $16 an hour, do you think the minimum wage today is going to cut it for everything that's going up? I'm out.